Privacy and confidentiality. I have the right to privacy and for my personal health information to be protected when using NHS services. Privacy. I have the right to respect for my family, private life, and for my correspondence. Respect for my family life covers my right not to be separated for long periods and to stay in contact, even if my treatment can't be provided close to my home. I have the right to privacy regarding my sexual health, sexuality, body, personal identity, and relationships with other people. The NHS may need to balance my right to privacy and a family life with the need to protect others' rights. I can expect my right to privacy to be respected when using NHS services. This means, for example, that, where possible, I can expect to be examined by NHS staff in an appropriate private room or cubicle, or to be in a single-sex room or ward for overnight stays in hospital. I understand this may not always be possible, for example, in intensive care or in an emergency. I have the right to say if I do not want students to be present at my examination or treatment. Confidentiality. I have the right to tell NHS staff if I do not want my personal health information to be shared in a particular way or with specific people. This right is an important legal and ethical duty for the NHS, but it is not an absolute right. In some circumstances, NHS Scotland can use my information without my permission, for example, if it has to by law, in response to a court order or when it is justified in the wider public interest, for example, to prevent the outbreak of a disease or crime. If I lack the capacity to, am unable to, give my permission. If getting my permission would put me or others at risk of serious harm. Decisions about whether it is appropriate for any of my confidential information to be shared are considered thoroughly by the NHS and may include specialist or legal advice. By law, this kind of decision must be recorded. I am responsible for protecting the privacy of the personal health information I hold. For example, letters I have been sent by NHS Scotland. The right to be informed. I have the right to be told about how my personal information is handled by organisations involved in my care, and how I can use my data protection rights. I can speak to any person involved in my care or contact my local health board for details. The right to access my information. I have the right to see my personal information that is held by NHS Scotland. I can do this by making a subject access request, verbally or in writing, to my local health board or GP practice, and I should receive a response within 1 calendar month. It does not usually cost anything to make a subject access request, but you may sometimes have to pay a charge, depending on the amount of work involved. If this is the case, Practices should tell you beforehand. It does not usually cost anything to make a subject access request. I have the right to see the personal information of an adult I care for who cannot make decisions for themselves, or who cannot tell others their decisions, only if it is allowed by law, such as the Access to Health Records Act 1990. The adult involved has granted me a welfare power of attorney, or a court has appointed me as welfare guardian, or given me the power to see information under an intervention order. The right to correct, delete, object to and restrict the use of information. I have the right for any inaccurate personal information about me to be corrected, or any missing information to be added. I must let NHS staff know if I change my name, address, phone number or email address, or if any other information in my health records is incorrect. I have the right to ask for my personal information to be deleted when it is no longer needed. I have a right to restrict how my personal information is used if I have a valid reason. For instance, if my information was collected in a way that was not allowed by law or is not accurate. This means that I can ask an organisation providing healthcare services to limit the way they use my personal information for a period of time, until any issues with my information are dealt with. I have the right to ask for my information to be corrected or deleted. I can do this verbally or in writing, and must receive a response within 1 month. There are circumstances where this can be refused. I have the right to stop my information being used for direct marketing, including offers of healthcare services that are not of interest to me. Exceptions may apply when it is in my best interest, for example, invitations to vaccination campaigns. The right to move or transfer information. I have a right to ask for and reuse my personal information for my own purposes across different services, whether they are healthcare services or not. This right allows me to move, copy or transfer my personal information easily from one IT system to another, safely and securely. It only applies to information that I have given to my health board or a primary care service provider, such as a GP or dentist. Automated decisions and profiling. I have the right to be told if NHS Scotland is making decisions about me by automated methods, in a way that doesn't involve people. For example, by using a computer programme with no human intervention. Or if my information is used to offer services to me, for example treatment, based on certain things or characteristics about me. This is known as profiling. I have the right to ask for decisions about me to be made by people, not just computers, and to challenge decisions made only by computer. I have the right to complain to the NHS or the Information Commissioner's Office if I suspect automated decision-making or profiling is happening without my knowledge, or automated systems are not working as intended. In most circumstances, I will have the right to object to automated decisions or profiling. But there are some exceptions under current law. Telecare. If I decide to start using telehealth and telecare technologies to monitor and improve my healthcare, such as using an NHS-prescribed app to monitor my blood glucose or my blood pressure from home, or to have a video consultation with a health professional, I have the right to be told how my information and privacy is protected, and if there is any risk of unintended electronic surveillance. Feedback and complaints about data protection. If I want to give feedback, make comments, or raise concerns or complaints about data protection matters, I can find out more information and the contact details for my health board's or GP's data protection officer from NHS Inform in the How the NHS Handles Your Personal Health Information section. My health board website or my GP. I can also complain to the Information Commissioner's Office. I can find more information about data protection and my rights from the following: the NHS Inform website, www.nhsinform.scot, or the NHS Inform helpline on 0800 22 4488. The Information Commissioner's Office website, www.ico.org.uk. Or I can contact their office by post 45 Melville Street, Edinburgh, EH3 7HL. Phone 0131 244 9001. Email scotland@ico.gsi.gov.uk. The Citizens Advice website, www.citizensadvice.org.uk.